Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of the Men of Steel podcast where we talk about Superman and Superman adjacent topics. If you enjoy this clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your shows. So then we get to the big one.
Yeah.
So we jump from the 60s to the 70s.
Weirdly enough, this actually isn't even my favorite John Williams orchestration or theme, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's done so much that that's not an understatement on any level.
Right.
There's so many different
like,
things
it's like one of the most iconic. It's like when you think about like what melodic ideas or chord progressions and stuff are like not iconic because it isn't. I guess it is to some degree iconic because again, you're trying to picture the image with the audio of the piece. But it's also very echoic in the way that, like, we sort of just know it as the identifier for this is Superman. But I think my favorite John Williams themes, plural, are the ones that he wrote for Hook.
I mean, those are great. Those are great scores. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, I can see that. I mean, so we're obviously tiptoeing around it. This is the John Williams Superman score made by John Williams.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But I think, I'm with you, Dan. I think that, I think Star Wars will always live a little bit above this just because of my love for that being a little larger than my love for Superman. But one thing I will say about this score specifically and this Superman theme is it still gives me chills on the climb every time.
Yes.
Star Wars
Yes.
does not do that. I love Star Wars, and it warms my heart, and it fills me with emotion.
Right.
But the dun 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 dun, like the slow build of this song is unparalleled to any other theme before and after. And that build, I know it's coming. I know when the roller coaster is going to go over, and yet I'm I'm gripping, waiting for it to go on that ride. Every time. It's just, this is what I want from Superman themes. And you'll notice as we go through the list, my favorite Superman themes do this in different ways. But every time I hear the song, I get chills. It's just one of the best constructed introduction themes in movie history, I feel like.
They're going to come after us when they hear this. Oh man, you just said that this was better than the Star Wars theme. They're going to kill us.
Star Wars fans have enough to complain about. They're not going to bother.
Get those guys.
TV show coming out. They'll be mad about that.
They've got lots to kvetch about. But, I mean, it's such an interesting run for John Williams just in general, because Star Wars is the year before this. Then we got Superman, and then we got Indiana Jones, just right after that. And, before that was Jaws, and, there's, all kinds of stuff right after that. But,
he is a master of taking Pulp Fiction and orchestrating it to, the nth degree to where every single time a music cue is played in any one of those movies, it feels like it is pulp on steroids.
And I mean, that is a big part of 70s filmmaking, taking a lot of things that were conceits for either children or just general audience, but were usually considered pulpier and less sophisticated, and putting this much more elegant touch on it all. And I think the music really does a good job of that. Because Jaws, people talk about how, it's a bog standard monster movie until you get into the interesting cinematography of Spielberg and the fabulous score from Williams. Star Wars is Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and all these pulp sci-fi stuff. And then you get into the special effects that were groundbreaking at the time, and the amazing score by John Williams. Superman is the first big franchise property adapted into a blockbuster for the summer, and starts a wave that we are so deep into now with the MCU and everything. And a big part of that was a charming performance by Christopher Reeve, a Richard Donner's attention to detail in the composition and trying to make it fit different types of movies, and then this amazing score by John Williams. Indiana Jones is a Doc Savage movie, but with a little bit more of an everyman type hero, and an amazing score by John Williams.
Yeah, I think also ultimately why I love this theme so much is there are some pop culture things that me and my father enjoy together, but for the most part, he's not a pop culture consumer. We have Star Trek and Star Wars, but Superman was one of those things that since I was a kid, I have a giant hardcover Superman. It's probably, I think, maybe the first 100 issues or whatever. It was when they were doing those big hardcover, colored books of it was a yellow Superman book, a red Batman book, and then another one or whatever. And so I have that still, and it's like that's so closely tied to this movie's theme and like the Fleischer stuff. Like all of that is interconnected, and I think Superman for me is so tied to nostalgia in a way that a lot of other properties aren't. It might be also part of why I don't enjoy some of the modern stuff is because of that tie to it as well. It's hard to say, but this theme was the start of like my love of music scores and pop culture and all of that mixing together for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is going to then cast a shadow on everything we talk about. You know, like we said, the Fleischer one was the prototype, and you can see how very similar things are going on here. The change in sort of the public perception of Superman had occurred at this point. He's no longer the big strong man. He now has way more of a messianic thing. There's lots of Judeo-Christian imagery going on in the 78 Superman movie. But this is taking all those ideas that were like, oh, this is the good stuff that's going on in the Fleischer cartoon, and making it into a theme that every single thing that we're going to talk about afterwards is either inspired by or in contrast to. Remember, if you like the clip, after you're done liking and subscribing, check out certainpov.com, where you can find more episodes of the show, as well as a ton of other great shows.